Hello, beautiful. I hope that you're having the most amazing, beautiful, transformative day of your life. I have been having a lot of fun the past several days, just really taking care of me, being around the grandchildren, but really focusing on taking care of me and doing what I need to each and every day to make sure that I am serving from a full vessel. And that includes my daily practice of either yoga, a workout with light weights, or meditating, stretching, all of that in my hot yoga room that Michael created for me. It is a blessing to me, and I swear it's just been one of the key things to get me through all of this, this mass great awakening. So it's really important that we find the things that we need to do to help ourselves. And so many things, I'm just being bombarded with amazing things that I've learned over the years, just the reminders of even the music that we listen to, according to Dr. Emoto's findings, even the words, the phrases that we say, that we think affect our energy. So that being said, I'm going to start posting more of these on YouTube and on my podcast. It's just things that I have found that I think are profound and that everyone needs to know more about. Today, I'm going to be sharing a story I found on the ASEA testimonial site, and it's about children and speech delay, and also some seizures involved there. And if you don't know my backstory, I am a speech pathologist and worked with these type of kiddos for many years. And I so wish I would have known about ASEA at that time, because I think that they would have had a much easier healing process. And by the way, if you don't know kind of where ASEA is heading, it was, Big Pharma tried to purchase it. And when they said they were going to put it on the shelf, in other words, stop production, the founders said, no way. They have started to teach this I know at least Harvard. Never taught this before. Okay. Now the truth started to come out about redox signaling. It is the signal between the cells that has been missing, the signal that gets depleted. And that is when we start getting the illnesses, the disease, the decline, because the signal does not happen. Our healthy cells don't hear the signal to go get rid of all of that toxin or those toxins and birth new cells. So I'm not a scientist, but I'll put some links beneath this video in the YouTube so that you can check them out if you want to learn more. So I'm going to do a share screen. I'm just going to find, there we go. I'm going to make sure it's on the right site. Because, excuse me. Sorry for that. I forgot to turn my phone off and go grab it so I can turn it off. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to do screen share so that I could show you where we're going to find information. It is a site that's called realredoxresults.com. And I'm just going to put it results.com. Now, when it pops up, it's going to ask you for a password. I'm already in, but the password is redox, REDOX. Okay, so you're just going to go through here, and you're on the left, you can find anything that you're looking for. I mean, there's TBIs, you can't use those terms here. Let me backtrack, can't say that word. But okay, heart stuff, hair loss, headaches, eyesight. We can't use any medical terminology, for now. That's all going to change. I mean, we've got weight loss, tick bite. I had Lyme for 8 years. And I did heal myself, but I have a feeling I would have been well very quickly if I would have known about this stuff, about ASEA. Michael and I have been on ASEA for, I'm going to say, going on 8 months. Same for Macy and Gracie. They get, how much do they get? I have a glass eyedropper that I fill up. I mean, it doesn't go up. It's like a third of the dropper, and I give them about 6 of those each once a day. In the mouth, I have, they don't quite like to drink it, so I've just got to give it to them. There's athlete stories, blood pressure, circulation, breathing. I mean, you can find anything here. Blood health, blood sugar. So we're going to go to I'm going to go ahead and go through these. Cholesterol, And guys, these are miracle stories. Okay. This is not just, oh yeah, I'm sure they had something good happen. This is miraculous things happening. I was guided to this. The angels always guide me to things, and this is one of the things I was guided to. Esophagus, eyesight, gut, bowel health, hair loss, headaches, health professional, heart, hormone balance, immune function, inflammatory response, which is what I think the entire world right now, among other things, is dealing with this big time. Okay, kidney health, mental clarity, memory, mood, mobility. You're just going to click on one, and it's going to have all of these testimonials you can check out under that topic. Neurological, numbness, olfactory, oral health, prostate, skin anti-aging, skin challenge, skin irritation, skeptic, I love that. Sleep, speech is what we're going to click on. Spectrum behavior, very important too. Miracles happening here, guys. Okay, miracles. Stress. I've checked all these out because this was, I worked with these kids for years. I'm trying to think when I got my speech path license was 2003. Stress, swollen feet. Okay, we went through that. So we're going to click on speech. And I just want you to, you can watch it with me if you want to. So here we have, you can just, you make it a little bigger. So you can, 90-year-old mother speaking again. She had stopped speaking. All right. Improvement in mother's memory and speech. These are just some of them on here. Mobility after several years of discomfort. Here's the little kiddos we're going to watch. Better sleep and breathing, seizure free, improved speech and language. So you can see relief after 20 years of discomfort, improvement in speech, mental clarity and mood, improvement in eyesight. All of these, you can just look through all of these. Okay, and I've watched so many. So this is number 58. And she's going to tell her story. And I'm going to suggest that that you just listen to her story, because you think about if ASEA can help what's going on with these kids, which you're going to hear about, it's a very moving story. Just think what it can do for, anyone else experiencing anything. All right, so here we go. I'm going to watch it with you. And by the way, if you have any, I'm going to leave the comment section open. If you have any comments or questions about it or need to contact me, there'll also be a link if you want to go purchase ASEA. You can also go to my site, my ASEA site, and there will be a button that says contact me, and you can do that as well. All right, so here we go.
So Shannon, thank you so much for joining us on the call here. Really, really appreciate it. You are from Virginia, and this story is a little bit different to some of our other stories because it's not actually about you. It's about two of your beautiful kids, Logan, who I think is nine, and then Abigail, who is 7. And of course, they're too young to come on here and tell their story. It might be fun, but...
Michael just pulled up, so the dogs might start barking. But I'm telling you guys, think of this mother. She's about to talk about her kids that are that young and the miracles that happened. Okay, it's going to tug at your heartstrings. It's amazing.
You're going to be here to kind of share their story with us. So, Shannon, why don't you start with Logan and tell us a little bit about Logan's experience with ASEA?
Sure. And first, I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to share. I am a very proud mother of these 2 beautiful children. And when Logan was about 2, he started off having seizures. He would freeze, he would stare off into the distance, and sometimes dropping things. After some further investigation, he was placed on medication for a seizure disorder. However, after that, he started to have a lot of trouble focusing with his impulse controls were off the charts. He was all over the place, which was exacerbated by a huge trouble with sleeping. We actually ended up doing a sleep study where they were able to mark that he woke up 26 times during just that night. And at the time it was taking, 1 to 2 hours even to put him to bed. And honestly, I was super exhausted. So when I was introduced to ASEA, it was kind of crazy because after about 3 weeks, he went from an hour to even 2 hours to about a half hour, getting him down to sleep, which still sounds like a lot to probably many people. But for me, it was like years off my life, just being able to get him down. And after about 5 weeks, it was down to 10 minutes. So that was amazing. What's also interesting, at this time, we had a behavior therapist working with us in our home because his behaviors were so extreme and impulsive. After 8 weeks on the product, the behavior therapist looked at me and said, listen, I don't see any abnormal behavior anymore, and I can't document it. So I'm amazed with the progress, but you're gonna lose this service that he was getting. So that was like relieving and just amazing in itself. On a side note, Logan also struggled with some pretty severe breathing issues. He was using an inhaler, a daily inhaler twice a day, and also had a bonus inhaler for when he was having a lot of issues with allergy related exacerbations with his breathing. So I would say probably every 2 to 3 months, we would end up actually needing to go to the hospital when his inhaler and nebulizer treatments weren't working, and we had to get steroids. And for a little guy, getting steroids every 2 to 3 months is a lot. And it also makes you act a little crazy, obviously. But what was really remarkable is after about 6 months, when we went back to the pulmonologist, he was just super surprised. He said Logan was doing so well. His upper respiratory issues were not significant, but he couldn't hear anything in the testing and also in the visual X-ray scan. So he wasn't showing any signs of respiratory distress or issues. So we got to pull him off of his inhalers completely. And now we only use his rescue inhaler maybe twice a year when he has a really tough like allergy day. And it's funny to think about all these things that went into this little boy. And now he is a happy and healthy and sweet 9-year-old.
I love it. I love it. So that's Logan's story. And now we go to Abigail, his little sister.
Yes. So Abigail had a really tough time even coming into this world. She was born at 37 weeks and purple. She had really shallow breathing, had a really weak immune system, was just hardly making it. In fact, in just her first year of life, she had constant breathing challenges, was extremely prone to infections. We were in the hospital quite frequently because we couldn't get her breathing issues under control. But around 14 months, I began to notice that she was having similar freezing spells to the ones that Logan was having. And after an MRI, it also showed that she had considerable amounts of scarring on the frontal lobe of her brain, which we had no explanation for. So, we went through the whole process, and the doctors found that she had the same seizure issue that Logan had and put her on meds. And at the time, they talked to me about, have you ever seen a speech therapist? Because she is very delayed. And after testing, it showed that Abigail is 75% delayed in her speech. So we started some treatment for that as well. But while on the medication, her seizures just were not getting better. And oftentimes I noticed that they were actually increasing. She was really struggling with multiple seizures a week. And it got to a point where it wasn't just the freezing spells. There was a number of times where she went into full body shaking, which was really alarming to see such a little child go through. So over the course of several months, the doctors kept increasing her medication to a point where she was 2.5 and now on twice the dose of her brother, who outweighed her by at least 30 pounds. And the seizures just kept continuing. I didn't find that medication helped her specifically with this issue. And there was a day where it evolved to a point where she started vomiting and having seizures, and it just came. I just think about that day with her basically looking lifeless on my living room floor because she was vomiting and going into these series of seizures for what ended up being almost 8 hours. And it was hands down probably the worst day of my life with her, struggling. And I got to a point, we were at the hospital, I remember saying a prayer. I said, I cannot do this anymore. I can't keep pumping her with medication that's not helping. I can't keep watching her suffer. And to be quite honest with you, I never considered ASEA for Abigail because it helped Logan with sleeping and impulsivity and these other issues. And Abigail just had so many really extreme challenges. So I finally said, I'm going for it because I had nothing to lose at this point and nothing else was helping. So we tried ASEA. And after just 3 months, I noticed that her seizures were becoming less common. Her speech was improving at a very quick rate. And what I didn't notice at the time, because I was so focused on the seizure issue, is she wasn't getting sick. And Abigail was sick all the time. We couldn't keep her healthy because of her weak immune system. And after 6 months, we lost her speech services because she was making so much progress that it had gotten to a point where her therapist was like, she's not even 25% delay. I can't even give you the service because the county's paying for it. And that was amazing. We walk into her neurologist appointment, who just 6 months prior, I had the very real and scary conversation about if Abigail would have useful language because she was not progressing in speech no matter what we were doing. And she walked in and she looked at the doctor. I said, Abigail, say hi to the doctor. And she goes, hi, doctor. And this woman's jaw dropped. She's like, oh my gosh, what happened? And she knew what I, was trying, and we were not hopeful at the time. So I'm just going to fast forward to 2 years on ASEA. Abigail had remained seizure free after about the 4 or 5 month mark on the product. And I broached the subject with her doctor about weaning her off of medication, which was not a popular, she was not a fan of this idea, but I said, listen, medication wasn't helping. This is helping. She's been seizure free for 2 years. I'm wondering if we give this a try. Because of the significant amount of scarring on Abigail's brain, she wanted to run another MRI, which she explained, given Abigail's age, the biggest concern was that the scarring actually would have gotten worse because of her age and the way the brain stretches. So she just needed to look at her brain. And the MRI showed that not only did the scar tissue not spread, it had in fact decreased by almost half. And I still shake when I think about the phone call that day because she had never seen that before. And so finally she agreed that we would do a very slow medication wean for Abigail off her seizure meds. And after about 4.5 months, we had weaned her completely off her meds. That was a little less than 2 years ago. And since then, Abigail has had no seizures. Her breathing is great. And she's very rarely sick. And she is a I'd like to say normal, happy girl, but she's not. There's nothing normal about her. She's amazing and spirited and energetic, and she's doing great in school. And now going from, 75% speech delay to being an AP student in reading and language arts, like I don't know where we'd be without this product, because it was really, really scary. And now I've got two amazing, happy and healthy children that you would never know if you had never met them when they were younger. Looking at them now, the tremendous amount of struggle that they went through in their journey to health. And I'm just so grateful.
I'm going to pause because I just have to say, first of all, I have a neighbor. They're putting a roof on next door. If you hear pounding, it just started. But I mean, you have to really take this in, what this means, because most of these kids never, ever get off medication. They just get it increased throughout their lifetime. And I just know that from working with them and working in the field of speech language pathology for several years. So I just want you to really understand the enormity of this, whether it's for just helping you understand what ASEA can do, or someone that has some kind of situation. But we'll go ahead and watch a little more, and just to see how they wrap it up.
I wanted just to bring up just to go back to our slideshow here, just to share a picture.
That's the day. She was
in the middle of one of her freezing attacks at this point.
Yeah.
That was the 8-hour day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's her now.
What a beautiful, kiki little monkey, huh? Love it. I love it. Just super healthy. From 75% delay, not going to have useful language, to AP in reading and language arts.
And she talks all the time.
Here's the thing. And let me just bring up Logan. Let's not leave Logan out. Beautiful family. Here's the thing. When the impossible becomes possible in this bottle, the stabilization of these molecules, when science said it could not be done, that it was impossible. When you've got a technology where the impossible becomes possible, what you've got to start imagining is that in people's lives, the impossible becomes possible. I'm really moved by this story. I think anyone that has kids could relate. So thank you so much.
And I don't have kids, but I can relate. I'm here like in tears.
Shannon, for sharing your story, for sharing your beautiful family with us today. I have to, of course, say that ASEA is not a treatment or cure for any disease or medical condition. The body is the miracle. It's not ASEA. The body's the miracle. But when you give that body a powerful resource that can help the body start to signal and communicate the messages for health and vitality, it's amazing what the body can do. And that's what's going on. So deep gratitude for you sharing. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
So guys, think, what would happen if that mom was sitting around waiting for a med bed to give, to get her children in a med bed? Okay. You got to think about this. There's so many people waiting for something, and the miracle is already out there. It's already here. It was created, quote unquote, by accident. Science said it could never be done, and it's been done. And now that we're seeing the change of times, universities, big universities now taking on, we're going to teach about redox signaling, which they should have been doing the whole time. This is the miracle. It's one of the miracles, if not the miracle. So check it out on my website if you want. It's juliatreat.teamasea.com. In fact, we'll just do a screen share and I can bring that up. And I'm going to show you where that little button is if you need to talk to me or you want me to send you some more stuff. Hold on, here we go. Screen share. This one, I believe. Okay, so we got Julia Treat not Treat ASEA. Julia Treat ASEA. Julia Treat.teamasia.com. Okay, takes you here. There I am giving you some love. There is a buy here. I'm sorry, join here. I'm not sure why buy here is there. You can do everything right here on join here. Contact me right here, Julia Treat. If you need help with ordering, I'm happy to send you some more videos if you need to look up more. But again, check out that realredoxresults.com. And here's, oh, I thought it was gonna ask me for the password. The password is redox, okay? And then go through here. Maybe you are having some stuff, inflammatory response issues, recovery from brain surgery, reduced inflammation, more youthful appearance, improvement in vision, sleep, and discomfort, all the stuff. You can just choose something over here. And anything, immune function, well, that's a big one right now too. Anything at all, and you have so many videos you can watch. Please keep your loved ones, your friends in mind, not just yourself. Anything that this might, anyone that comes to mind as you're watching these, they are fascinating. I can sit there and watch them for hours. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm sending so much love your way. All right, contact me if you need more information about ASEA. If you want to join Team Miracles, that is my ASEA group, and we'll get you started. I am sending so much love to you. God bless.